Well, then I'm just going to bring this live. Well, I tell you what, I bet you've never missed John Young so much in your life. I figured I would just forego the video. And Joe Bunn, we are finally live. And I'm really excited. Thanks. Sorry about the delay in getting things going. I've been standing here for like an hour going, okay, this is checked. That's clicked. This is good. And then, of course, don't you know, we're about to go live. And then I can't seem to get the stream started. Like, that's like me at a lawnmower, like trying well, then I'm just going to bring this live. And over well, I tell you what, I bet you've never missed John Young so much in your life. I tell you, this is really fun. The last time that the video I saw Joe you was when we were doing the show at Mobile Bee quite a while back, and you've just to let everybody else know a little bit about you. You've got a very successful company, the Bunn DJ Company in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? Raleigh,
correct, Raleigh.
And you've started this extraordinary course called the PhDJ course, which is both performance technique as well as business. I've heard a lot of really great things from people who have taken that, been out there speaking and really making a big difference for DJs in just nuts and sometimes getting down to nuts and bolts business can make all the difference rather than the next greatest idea, but like really solid nuts and bolts business with really great practices can make a huge difference. And that's a lot of what I've heard you share, and it's made a big difference for a lot of guys. And so thanks for coming on the show and being live with me and being patient with the fill-in host for John, who couldn't quite get his technology figured out.
That's okay, man. I appreciate you guys having me. I always like being on here, and like you said, I mean, I think that's why, or that's what people have connected to with me. That's one of the things they always say. Like after I take the stage and I'll do one of these talks or seminars or whatever you want to call it, they'll say, "Man, that was a great nuts and bolts thing." You know, they don't know me as the rah rah guy. I can't get up there and get people charged up like a Tony Rich or what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Like a Gary
like a Tony Robbins or something.
Tony Robbins, not Tony Rich. Tony Robbins. It's not my cup of tea. My thing is really just to deliver like how we did certain things, how to not do certain things that I've wasted tons of money on. And people say you're very real, and I guess that's a compliment. And the nuts and bolts thing, I guess that's a compliment as well. But I appreciate you guys having me on.
It is a compliment. Yes, it's certainly not to be minimized. It's just in terms of the practicality. Like everything that I have heard you deliver is like so you could like take notes and put it into action. Right. There's not a lot of figuring out you got to do. You're like, oh, that's really clear, and that really speaks to the way you've presented it, the way you lay it out, because making it actionable. There's a lot of people that have like kind of all kinds of intellectual ideas about things, and then you're like, that's a great idea, but how do I actually execute that? So let's get into some of that tonight. I've already used up some of our time here getting us going. So let's see what we can hit. What would you pull out would be the first couple of things that would make a difference in terms of marketing?
Right. So that's kind of what that's what I do, and that's what I'm known for, marketing and branding, and that's kind of what John wanted me to touch on. So I wrote down 5 things, I guess, that I really wanted to touch on tonight. And in no particular order, we'll just kind of start. We'll talk a little bit about social media, and I just want to start first and foremost to talk about Instagram stories. If you haven't looked into Instagram stories yet, and first of all, let me just say this, and I've mentioned this in multiple seminars before. I can't stress enough how to separate yourself from your business. So in other words, on Instagram, you can find me at Joe Bunn. And there you're going to see pictures of my kids and my wife and my family and the beach and sneakers and maybe some shows. Mm-hmm. But the real company page is at Bunn DJ Co. BUNN DJ CO. Mm-hmm. And that's my company page. And on there, you're exclusively going to see shots from our weddings, shots of our gear, outfits, that we might wear at shows. That there's lifestyle photos, there's professional photos, there's stuff that's happening on the spot. And really, in the past, I guess about 6 weeks now, if you'll look through like the last maybe 50 or 60 photographs, you'll totally see a transition from what we used to post versus then. It's much more on brand now. It's much more consistent now. And again, this will lead me to my second point, if you will, is consistency across your brand. Again, I've spoken on this numerous times, and if you've seen me, then you know that I have a lot of graphics and a lot of slides, but that the website matches your business card, which matches the banners that you use at a bridal show, which now even you'll see in our last maybe month and a half of Instagrams, even those are more on what they call on brand. If you look closely at those, you'll see that I've even gone in and messed with the filter and the color to give them a little bit of that yellow pop that's in the logo. Like, I mean,
Nice.
that's how OCD I am about being on brand these days. So, so that's just quickly touching on Instagram. But my point is, what I like about the Instagram stories is it kind of stole a little bit of Snapchat's thunder, and so you don't have to open another app if you're already savvy with Instagram, which again is our most popular platform and has directly led to business.
Wow, Instagram has.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've definitely. And just mentioning this, you can now have your Instagram as a company page, and if you just Google how to do that, like mine now, if I click on the profile button, I can actually see the analytics of how many people click through to the website, our demographic, our interaction rate, and even the most popular times that the people that follow us use Instagram. So I used to post first thing in the morning just because it was easy. Well, there's a science behind this. Now, if I look at it, like today, I looked at it, and the most popular times to post were 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock tonight. So when I get off this call, I'll post our second post of the day. So it's very important that if you do have that business Instagram account, to go ahead and convert it over to a company account. You'll just Google it. It's really simple.
Yeah, that sounds really great, especially something that's again like actionable. You can put it, you can put into use right away to actually improve some exposure. When we're going to take a quick break here with a message from our sponsors. When we got to come back, why don't you share a little bit about like what kind of content, if someone was like, okay, right, Instagram, what should I start putting up there? Let's talk about like what kind of content that you would start putting up there. The Monday night. DJ Chat Live is sponsored by the Disc Jockey News, or rather, yes, of course it is, Disc Jockey News, DJ Event Planner, and Electro Voice. We'll be back in just a minute.
DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
And we're back here live with Joe Bunn of the famed Bunn DJ company. What?
Famed,
yes, famed. I said famed. And PhDJ, the training works, and you've probably seen him on the platform at various conferences around the country, talking about marketing. And so the question we had was around using. You said Instagram has turned out to be like the really hot platform. And so if I was going to start using that tomorrow and I hadn't been, what kind of content should I be thinking about putting up there?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it is important as to look at who your followers are. So we have maybe 5,000 we just crossed over followers on the @Bunn DJ Co account.
Nice.
I bet 1,500 or more are professional mobile DJs. So a lot of times I'll post a shot of our gear, but maybe in an interesting setting. Like I got this really cool kind of fake cow skin rug. So I'll put one of my controllers on that, stand over top of it and shoot a picture of it, and then hashtag it with Pioneer Pro DJ, the model number and DJ controller and things like that. And that'll get a lot of interaction. or even like live event shots. So maybe another third of that is probably people that are thinking about getting married, or people just intrigued by weddings, which is the bread and butter of the company.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll post pictures from events of bride and groom's first dance, but just from a different setting. Instead of seeing your top of your Serato screen in the bottom of the picture, step out from behind it, get a better shot of them. Frame it so that maybe they're off to the side and you get a lot of the crowd in the background. There's so many cool things you can do. And going back to my point originally about Instagram stories.
Mm-hmm.
So now what I've really gotten my guys to do is I've given them the login to be able to post to the story, because so many of the shots that we do take at events aren't really what I consider Instagram worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Or sometimes they need to be looked at and filtered and changed a little bit after the event. And at the end of the day, we're not photographers, we're DJs. I don't want them don't stop the party to get the shot.
Right, right.
Party, we'll deal with the photograph later.
Uh-huh.
So a lot of times I'll say, hey guys, if the shot's not great, just post it to the story. It goes away after 24 hours, just like Snapchat. And really concentrate on sending me what is your best work from the weekend, and then let me tweak it and post it to the full Instagram feed.
Oh, so that feature kind of gives you a palette of stuff to choose from that you can then broadcast out.
Exactly. I really like them to send me directly their stuff and let me filter it a little bit more to make it on brand. And then anything that's just kind of, a shot of the crowd or a cake, which we have 10 trillion of, or, just some cutesy thing at the event, I just say, put it on the story, and it adds to the story, but it goes away after 24 hours.
Sure. That's great. Gosh, Joe, I wish that we had the full 30 minutes, my technical problems hadn't gotten in the way. But if people want to learn more from you about these sort of things, where should they go?
Yeah. So Mike, Walter, and I from Elite Entertainment do, like you were mentioning, thank you earlier, our PhDJ workshop. We just posted, and we haven't even really promoted it yet, but I will right here on your channel.
Yes, do.
Drum roll, April 4th and 5th, right back here in Raleigh, North Carolina, will be the next PhDJ workshop. Again, that's April 4th and 5th, and you can find out more at www.phdjworkshop.com.
And Raleigh is beautiful in April.
Man, in April, it couldn't be better. It's not hot. It's not cool. It is magic.
It's perfect. Awesome. Joe, thanks so much for taking the time today to share with us some of these the great tips. Just what you share with Instagram is huge. So thanks a ton for that.
Good.
All right.
You.
Thank you. Coming up next, stay with us in just a few minutes. We're going to get things teed up and get our next stream started. Brandon Stewart is going to be our guest tonight, talking about lighting for DJs. And that's next, coming up on DJ and TV Monday Night Live Chat.